Instagram. Welcome to the Trish Lynn Show. Well, we are being notified that I am live and waiting for Cami to appear. Hi, happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. Today we are talking about sustainable nutrition for healthy weight management. And I cannot wait to dive into this conversation because I have a background in nutrition and everyone's position on weight loss is different. Everyone's idea around what it takes to be sustainable in weight loss is different. And the biggest piece, there we go, Cammy's on. The way everyone loses weight is different. So I'm really excited to jump in and have this conversation and just bring different perspectives to the table because it's always a good conversation. Hopefully we can get this on. Oh, hello, hello.
Hello, how are you
Good.
today?
How are you?
I'm awesome. You had me laughing already this morning. So
It's going to be a good show. I'm super excited for this conversation because it is so true. And the more I think about what I said, I'm like, oh my God, like society itself has just the things that society has done to women when it comes to weight loss and weight management is absolutely disgusting and disheartening.
so I couldn't agree with you more. The reason why is I'm not a skinny nutritionist. I'm not. And I've actually battled with obesity over time. I got into nutrition simply because I'm a breast cancer survivor. So I learned what food could actually do for your body. And my program is not called a weight loss program. It's called a weight management program on purpose. It's because I don't really focus on the weight loss. What I focus on is maintaining your health and being healthy. Um,
Exactly.
Society, American culture, whatever you want to call it, has got us so tuned in to being skinny, and skinny is not actually healthy at all. What's healthy is not having high blood pressure. What's healthy is not having diabetes. What's healthy is not having heart disease for women. So those are the things that I focus on. So when you sent me that message this morning, I was like, she don't even know who she talking to yet, but that is
So
okay.
I'm gonna fill everyone in. I just sent a quick voice note, and I wanted to be able to go into this conversation around weight loss and sustainability and what society is doing. And what I noticed, so this is where we got going here. A couple weeks ago, I went into Lululemon, and I am typically a size 8 in Lululemon, and I've lost some weight, should be should be down to a size 6 now by their old sizing standards. But I walked in and their size 0 will fit my 8-year-old,
Yeah, so who is that realistically
right?
made for? Because even models nowadays have gone against the grain when it comes to being super skinny. They are fighting back and saying, "Hey, that's not healthy." We have seen how that has affected them, how sick they have gotten for trying to maintain those beauty standards when that's not even realistic for people who live. That's what we've been trying to tell the fashion industry for years, is that the sizes, the things that you create, the stuff that you say we should be wearing, that's not realistic. And women are dying to put themselves in those particular sizes, to fit into what they think is fashion trend normal. That's not normal. That's not normal at all. The normal American woman is between a size 8 and a size 14.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that. And if you were going to go shopping for clothes, you're going to have to find clothes that don't look for what they say is supposed to be normal. Look for clothes that fit you and make you feel like you are beautiful on the inside and out. It's just as simple as that.
Well, that's it. And you know, it's disheartening and it's disgusting that I now walk in there and I go for a size 8. I'm like, this isn't gonna fit me, and I've lost 20 pounds. Like, it's not like I've lost a couple pounds. I have lost 20 pounds, and I'm now up to a size 10. Like, what does that say for the woman who hasn't done the work to recognize, hey, these standards aren't acceptable?
You stop
Like,
shopping in Lululemon. That's what.
right? I mean, if I didn't like some of their pieces, I for the most part. So my story, and this is going to go kind of really off topic, but I never used to wear shorts because I didn't like my legs. And Lululemon was the brand that helped me get back my confidence in what I was wearing. And if anyone is joining this conversation and wants to pipe in, definitely leave us a comment, because I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this topic, because it is so controversial and
Yeah.
there is no wrong opinion. If you have a different perspective, by all means share it, because I love hearing different perspectives and different sides. But like, they were my go-to brand for me feeling confident and comfortable in myself. Now I'm just like, I don't agree with it. Yes, they've gotten
Yeah.
bigger sizes, which is great. They are accommodating women of all sizes, but when you change your sizing that drastically, that someone who was in a size 8 now has to go up to a 10 and possibly even a 12, because I don't like my clothes really tight fitting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it weighs. See, one of the things we teach with our sustainable nutrition program is that it's all intertwined. And what I mean by that is all interconnected, all of the different dimensions of wellness. So if you're going into a store that is playing on your mental wellness, that's also going to affect your physical wellness as well. So what and I'm going to just be honest, Lululemon has never been for curvy girls. So for me, I'm a curvy girl. I've always had, it doesn't matter what size I am, whether I'm a size 14, at my heaviest, I was a size 24. But at my lowest, I'm like you, I was a size 6. And I've always been a
Yes.
curvy girl. I've always had an hourglass shaped
Yeah.
figure. So those clothes were never meant for me and they never fit me. What I do now is I find clothes and brands, and it's not about, the name brand or anything.
What
I
fits
find the
your
clothes
body?
that fits my
Yes.
body and make me feel beautiful, like I said. So if I feel beautiful on the outside, that's going to make me want to also maintain my own health and my own beauty so that I can actually move forward in a healthy way. So some of those designers and brands, they play on your emotional and mental wellness, which also affect your physical wellness.
Yeah.
Because you'll stop. If you go into a store and the store sizes have changed and now you're in a size 14 and you used to be in a size 10, you're going to go stop at the donut shop on your way
Yeah.
out of leaving that store to feed that feeling that you
Yeah.
just got from being in that store.
And it's sad to see, like, from the marketing perspective, like, I get to bring all of these pieces that I know together, and from the marketing perspective, they are fear-based marketing. Hey, this is the size, you don't fit into it, society says you should fit into it, so you need to go on a restrictive diet. And
Oh
you know,
God, don't get
no,
me started on that.
no, I am not. So I would love to know your process for weight management, and what you typically follow, and I can share my process for weight management and what I follow, what has worked. Like, I have a background in nutrition. That's where my business started, and I specialize in weight loss, because for so many women that is such a factor when it comes to their confidence, but it was in a sustainable way that we look at the keto diets, and I'm not a fan of keto, but I'm a fan of low carb and high fat and protein. And that's because it works for me, but my body itself doesn't agree with a lot of carbs.
Yeah. So for me, I am a clinical dietitian. I got into this because, like I said, I was a breast cancer survivor. So I went through school, got my degree in nutritional science, and started to really, and I've been a chef for over 20 years. So I was a chef
Okay.
before I got into nutrition. So for me, it was always about me feeding people and the enjoyment of food, this, that, and the third. But I don't really focus on diet. That's like a curse word to me. So what I focus on in my process is first we take a look at your medical history. To the point that I'm also an affiliate with Quest Diagnostics. So I send my clients in for blood tests and I read their blood work and I go over, what's missing from their diet, the nutrients that they need, what is actually needed, and if there are any diseases that's affecting what they have going on. And we focus on becoming more healthy, eating towards a healthier lifestyle. Now, you're going to lose weight because you're changing how you're eating. You're changing from eating processed foods to eating whole foods. You're changing from eating fast food to cooking at home and eating real food. You're changing from eating a heavily sodium filled diet to eating a more flavorful diet.
And your
So those.
body naturally releases
Mhm.
all of that excess weight and fat storage that it doesn't need to
Yeah,
store anymore. And so
yeah,
many people don't understand that when it comes to weight loss. And I'm going to say weight loss because that's what the majority of women go for, but it's not the weight loss that you want to aim for. You want to aim for fueling your body appropriately in a way that is
yep,
sustainable and you get to carry on.
yeah,
And the side effects of that are
yeah.
the weight falls
So
off.
yeah, and that's what I tell people. So my program on my website is called Lose 30 Pounds in 30 Days, but it's not called a weight loss program. You notice it's called a weight management program. That's because in your first one-on-one with me, what I explain to you is that this is not a diet. The reason it's 30 days is because I am teaching you how to turn this into a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle that you want to uphold. And throughout those 30 days, I am teaching you how to grocery shop in a right way, how to look for foods that are more nutrient dense, how to shop in local farmers markets where you get seasonal foods. And the reason why you want to get seasonal foods is because those foods are grown at that certain time and they're produced at that certain time to give you your nutrients that you need during that phase and during that season of your life. So it's really important that people understand that, yeah, you can lean on weight loss and yeah, you can use diets, but you got to really focus on what's healthy for you and start eating more nutrient dense foods over counting your calories and looking at restrictions and stuff like that.
I don't count calories. I used to. And then I started following, just paying attention to what I was putting in my body.
Yeah.
So I know carbs do, like, aside from some of the healthy carbs, sweet potato is one of my favorite things, but not too often. My body does not like carbs. I get drained and I feel heavy, and it doesn't work for me. Where there's some women who need those
Yeah.
carbs. They have, like, we're so diverse in every single way that we don't even recognize weight management isn't a one size fits all.
No,
It is
what
different.
nutrition isn't a one size fit all thing. Everybody's diet and everybody's body is different. Everybody's metabolic makeup is different. Everything is different. Your lifestyle contributes a lot to your nutrition, your physical wellness, what you do on a regular basis. Because if you're stressed on a regular, you have high hormone levels. So you need to eat to combat some of those hormones and combat some of those chemicals. But if you have a low stress lifestyle, lifestyle, you need to eat based on your body type.
Yeah.
So everything isn't for everybody. And I totally agree with you. Like, I am not one of those ones to push my clients more towards plant-based or more towards carnivore or anything like that. We look at what works for your lifestyle, what works for your body, and what's going to make you the most
Yeah.
healthiest.
Yeah, that's it. And it's being able to spread the word of, you don't have to go on these restrictive diets to be healthy and have a sustainable weight. I went out, so this is a time when I was specializing in weight loss, okay? Like, this was my specialty. This is what I did. And I went out for dinner with my now ex-husband and two other couples. And these girls are sitting there counting the calories on their meals, counting the calories in their drinks, and I'm like, I will have this, and this. I'm like, I don't have to count because I already know what I need to order to still keep up with my goals and be sustainable in what I am creating for myself.
That's too much math. That's
Right?
too much math.
And
So what
you're
I've
out
told,
for dinner
yeah,
with friends. Who wants to sit
it's
down?
too
I'm like,
much math.
yeah.
I teach my clients about calories, but what I teach them is not to get caught up on calories. The reason I teach them about calories is because what I call them are nutritional boundaries. If you're going out to a fast food restaurant, yes, you need to know how many calories that hamburger has, because guess what? You can eat a whole plate of real food, real vegetables, real everything for the same amount of that calories that one little hamburger has. So I want you to understand what the difference in
Yes.
junk food calories
Yeah.
and the difference in real food calories are. So
Yeah.
we talk about nutritional boundaries. We also, in our nutritional boundaries, we talk about portion control as well.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I do notice in the American diet is the larger portions. And so people have become accustomed to that when that's not really healthy for us either. So large amounts of saturated fat, large amounts of unhealthy foods, which is what they're feeding to us, is not good for you. But large amounts of nutrient dense foods, large amounts of foods that actually work for your body, that is okay. Because guess what?
Hold on.
A whole plate full of something healthy, something whole, something real is going to be less calories than that hamburger and those french fries that you just got from McDonald's, Burger King, or Wendy's. So you need to understand that you can eat more over here
I,
and
and
less of this.
yeah, and that's what we're the same over here. It's everyone's so used to just, oh, I put a filter on, hold on, let me turn that, there we go.
That's
That's twice I've done that. um what was I saying? All right, over here it's the same. It's such large portions and non-healthy portions. And if we really want to dive into it, the government doesn't, the Canadian government, the US government, they don't want us healthy.
I was just
They want us
going
sick.
to say, they keep us sick so that they can keep us on these drugs. And unfortunately, that's one of the things that I also teach to my clients is how to come off of the medications that you're taking. Back about no, it's been more than 3 years. It's probably been about 5 years now. I ran a research study when I was living in South Carolina that was based on reversing type 2 diabetes in men of color through nutrition and exercise. And a lot of people don't understand that. It's what you eat that keeps you sick. And if you eat the right foods and if you eat in the right portions and at the right amount of time at the right times of the day, your body will actually heal itself. And your body has everything in it to be healthy. You just gotta, it's like running a car. You wouldn't put the wrong kind of gas in your car. So why do you put the wrong kind of
Yep.
gas in your body?
Yep. That's why I always say, I'm eating to fuel my body.
Yep.
Because that's what it is. It's eating to fuel the things that you're doing. I eat based on my activity levels for the day. And it's just, it comes natural to me
Yep.
now, so I don't even think about it. But that's it. It's, eating your body is so smart that it does what it has to protect itself when you are fueling it properly. And like, I don't have a full nutritionist certificate, but I do have the health and nutrition certificate and background, so I'm going to get to dive into, the deeper aspects of reading blood work and stuff like that. But the basics of nutrition, the processed shit that we are being served in the stores, our body literally does not process it. Doesn't.
Um, our bodies get sick
Yeah.
because of the canned goods, because of the packaged foods, because of all of the things and impurities that are actually going into manufacturing these foods.
Yeah.
I one of the things I always love is food labels. Okay,
Yeah.
pay attention to your food labels. If you can't, and I'm going to say this, and I know some people can't. One of the things I love to say is if you can't pronounce it or know what it is, then don't eat it. But then I remember some people actually don't know how to pronounce quinoa, and I always have to double back on that and say if it's chemical based. If it's actually, if you see it and it's a chemical based name, if it's not a whole food, if it's not something that you can actually grow or get out of the ground, or you can see it being made, then you don't need it in your body. It's something that will make you sick later on down the road. So for instance, if you're looking at your chips and your chips don't say potatoes, or whatever oil they use to make them, and salt. Those should be the only
If the chips
ingredients in your
don't say
chips.
potatoes, then they are not. Well, I mean, I like corn chips, so there is a
Yeah,
difference. But
but you
you know
get
what
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't have that real ingredient in it, just like somebody posted the other day, the nutritional label for McDonald's French fries, and they did one from years ago versus the nutritional label today. Years ago, when we were not being force fed processed food, there were only about 6 ingredients in the McDonald's French fries. Now, there are about 25 different things that you don't even know or don't have no idea of. The other thing is
For
the
French
truth.
fries, that should be potatoes.
Thank you.
Put in
Say it again.
oil, sprinkled in salt.
That's it. That's all that should, again, just like what your chips should be.
Right.
Unless they're putting some kind of flavor on it, then he might have garlic powder, onion powder. Look for those things. But if it's got like tritexanol 9 and just walk away from it. Another thing you need to pay attention to, they're now trending with plant-based products. Those
Yes.
plant-based products are not plant-based products. Read the ingredients. If it's not a plant that you have heard of, you should not be eating it. And no plant has a number behind it. So,
Yeah. Right? Oh my
yeah.
gosh. So that has been, and I laugh here because I am not against, a plant-based meal.
No,
But
but not
something
a
I'm
not
gonna
a
go make myself. I'm not gonna go buy one of those plant-based burgers that have a million ingredients in it and more calories than a regular beef burger.
not just more calories, but also more sodium, which drives your blood pressure up and
Yes.
makes you sicker. So pay attention. That's why I
Yeah.
said nutritional labels are
Yeah.
very important, because those frozen foods, those frozen meals, those plant-based items
Yeah.
that they are pushing in the store contain way more sodium, way more sugar, and way more extra ingredients that are not plant based. So you have to be very careful about what it is that you're getting when you go to the store. Because you got to remember, even though it's plant based, it's still processed.
Yeah, it is. It's so like my thing when I was doing the nutrition side of things was teaching my clients to shop the outside perimeter of the grocery store.
Yes.
Everything that you need is in that outside perimeter. And it's still even watching. If you can go buy local to a farmer and buy your meat local, go to a farmer. You know it's not going through any extra processed steps. Veggies, like it's the time of year, there's veggie markets set up everywhere. I
in
used to.
every city, in every city, in every small town. I don't know if it's like this in Canada, but I do know it's like this in the United States. Every city in every small town, and I work in rural America. And when I say rural America, I'm talking about the country. I'm talking about places that don't have as much technology as the urban world. But in every city, urban, rural, every place, in every city and small town, they have farmers
Mhm.
markets. They have places that you can get up every Saturday or Sunday morning and go get fresh produce, go get fresh meat, go get fresh everything that you can think of. The farmers are selling it. It's
Yeah.
coming from the farm. Some of these places make bread. Some of these places make their own cheeses. Some of these places make their own milk. And let me segue really quick. That is part of the reason why I'm opening my own ranch and farm. That's part of the reason why I'm doing some things more sustainably. It's because of my nutrition background and my chef background. And I want to make sure that I can explain to you where your food is coming from, whether it's meat, whether it's vegetables, whether it's fruit, whether it's grain. I can show you that it's coming out of the ground at my farm and ranch, that I'm growing it, the process that I'm using to grow it, and how we can use those same foods to heal our bodies.
I just got goosebumps actually. I love that because I would love to be able to do that again. I had, before I left my ex-husband, three massive gardens that I grew. I learned how to can food and be able to preserve it, right? It's all of these steps. We had chicken, so I always had fresh eggs. We actually grew our own meat birds, so we had our own
You had
chicken.
real chicken. You knew what your chicken was being fed.
Exactly. Yeah.
It wasn't a lie about whether or not they were pushing antibiotics into it, because what people forget is the same antibiotics that flow into that bird's
Yeah.
body flows into your body when you eat that
Yep.
bird.
And you taste the difference. You honestly can taste the difference from your own raised chickens to the stuff that you buy in the store.
Yes.
So I can't wait till I can go back to that and have that again because it was everything for me. I loved it. I noticed the difference. And if you can shop local, so we have the same thing here. We've got the pretty much a lot of corners actually. I'm like looking outside and pointing. A lot of corners have farmers stands set up, and the farmers are coming out, and not only are they taking the time now to come set up, you can go support them and buy direct instead of going through Walmart and giving them their fucking massive percentage of the increase in the products that they're selling. It is insane how much money they are making off of us from these farmers who are taking the time now to come out and do it. And if you actually take the time to look, you can find a beef farmer who will sell you half a cow. You can find the chicken farmers. Like, you can find all of these
So
people.
what I've learned in this farming community, I just recently relocated from Texas to Georgia, and I'm really being in both farming communities in both states. So here's what I learned. These farmers are getting very smart about what they're doing, and if you pay attention, you can purchase products from them. They have meat boxes where they will set up a
Yes.
box that they will send you monthly, and it's from meat from their farm, sausages and stuff that they make right there, as opposed to a processed manufactured sausage that's coming out of a factory somewhere and it's full of sodium and preservatives. It's actually real food, it's real produce, it's real everything. So you get, sometimes they'll send you seeds, they'll send you recipes, they send you meat, they send you eggs, they send you fresh produce. There's another company, Misfits, because when you are a farmer, you have to conform to a certain standard of what food looks like. So you can, if you go to, you can either purchase from Misfits or you can purchase from your local farm. They have bins and boxes of food that don't fit the store norm, but it's nothing wrong with these
Yeah.
vegetables. They're just not the shape that you would normally get. They're not aesthetically pleasing, but they're still just as good,
Yeah.
just as nutrient dense. So you can go to the farm, you can buy this stuff. A lot of farms have where you can go and pick out of these bins and whatever, and they have pick and buy, pick and purchase, or pick and grab type of situation set up where you go to the farm and you pick your own food and you take it back home with you. And these are the situations where you use canning, where you use vacuum sealing, where you freeze dry things so you can recreate products that you want later on in life, but you know what's in them. You know know exactly what you're eating. You're not eating a processed something that comes out of a jar or can that you purchased in a grocery store that is filled to the brim with nothing but salt and preservatives and chemicals. Later on, for you to be like me at 34, diagnosed with cancer, and not know that it literally comes from the foods that we're eating.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what is set out these days. It's how can we make everyone sick? And cancer
Yeah.
is the number one. Cancer is just, we all have that gene and it's just waiting to be switched.
And
And when you can
with
recognize that and,
mhm.
like, eat in a healthy way, it's so much better for you.
It does. So, and you can attest to this because you've had your own garden. Having real food in your diet energizes you and it makes your body feel different. Not only does it give you energy, but it boosts your immune system as well. So, eating those nutrient dense items, eating items that cutting back on that white sugar, all of that type of stuff, because that's loaded into our foods nowadays too. And that's the number one cancer. It feeds the cancer in your body. So cutting back on those things, eating more natural sweeteners. So, for instance, I like to teach my clients about gardening and the ways that you can create your own sweeteners. One of the things that I also promote is stevia. It is a real plant. It is a real herb. If you grow it, you can grow it in a pot. You can grow it in your garden. You can take it, you can dehydrate it, you can turn it into a powder, and you can make it into your own sweetener. Another sweetener that is natural, and I apologize to the people that are vegan, is honey. Honey is another natural sweetener. It's produced by bees, okay? Now, as opposed to eating white sugar or putting, processed sugar like Splenda or aspartame or
Yeah.
sucralose on your food, these are ways that you can literally get natural sweetening products. So you can grow these, you can make these, you can put a beehive in your backyard at home.
I won't go that far because I don't like bees, but even for like allergies, if you're someone who has really bad allergies, buying your local raw honey can help you with your allergies
Yep,
because your body creates an antibody towards it when you eat the honey.
yep,
And
it
so many
does.
people don't know that. So like for me, I will buy local honey even when I'm sick. It's local raw honey. That's
Yep,
my go-to. If I have a cold, I will go out and buy the honey first because it always helps with my immune system and building it
yep.
up. And it's just something that's so simple, and I won't reach for the drugstore things for coughs and colds
You don't need
unless I'm
it.
dying.
Yeah, unless
But
you listen, if you have honey, garlic, lemon in your household, you don't really need the
no,
drugstore cough medicines or cold medicines.
no.
You can literally make your own substances right there in your house. And Lord, please don't let them shut me down for saying this out loud. But you could literally make your own cough syrups at your house. You can make your own throat sprays. You can make your own cold and sinus serums right there in your home. And it will take away from you putting more toxic chemicals into your body, because even though they make you feel better, they're also still depleting your immune
I'm
system.
gonna just stop you right there for a second. For anyone who is watching live right now or joining in and catching us after the match, drop a comment if you want an episode on this topic and the things that you can create, because that I think could be pretty fun as well, actually coming on and sharing how to make some of these
Yep.
things. So if that's something that you guys want to see, make sure you let us know in the comments and tag the Trish Lynn Show so that I see your comment and know that, hey, we got to create an episode around this.
Absolutely. Because that's something people would definitely love to know is how do they because first of all, it'll cut down on the amount of money that you spend. Because remember, I said it's all interconnected. So your financial wellness deals with your physical wellness as well. So it'll cut down on the amount of money you spend, but it'll also give you these products to have in your household and ready to go whenever you get sick, your little ones get sick, or someone around you gets sick.
And that's the big thing for me. It's teaching. So like when you look at me, you don't see all of these pieces that I have, and everyone's like, "You can things." I'm like, "Yeah." You don't take medicine? No. Like I am very natural.
Mhm.
And it's teaching my kids that hey, we don't have to run to the drugstore. So now, like my boys raise the chickens, and they put the eggs out at the road. That's their summer business. That's their business right now, and it's so good for them to be learning, this side of things and the sustainability of it, because we are raising a society that is so quick to jump to medication.
You and I have the same directive and the same mindset when it comes to that. Part of the things that we're going to do at our farm, and again, we're purchasing 91 acres here in Georgia, and a part of what we're going to be teaching is regenerative farming and permaculture, where we don't just focus on a monocrop. We focus on the health of the soil and focus on all of the fruits and vegetables that we can grow. But what we also want to do is train little farmers. So a part of what we're doing is giving back to the community. We're also opening a foster care facility on our farm, and we have a vocational program for children where we will be teaching these children how to actually farm, how to do animal husbandry, how to do construction, how to just live off the land. Not so much so that they can go and buy their own homestead or farm, but so that they know where their food is coming from, how to produce their own food, and that they don't have to continue to run out to the grocery store to grab this. The grocery store should not be the place that you depend on as your food source. It should only be there in case you don't have something that's readily available right around you. So if you can't grow it in the soil where you are, if you can't trade with another farmer, that's what you rely on the grocery store for. Other than that, you should be able to grow your own food, produce your own meat, and know exactly where it comes from so that you can live a sustainable lifestyle. So that, again, like I said, everything's interconnected. And it's not just for our bodies, but for the environment as well.
And I think if you're in, an area, if you live in an area where, it's not a sustainable way for you to live and be able to grow your own stuff, you can go find it. You can go find the farmers who have it.
No, 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 no. Listen, here in urban America, there are actually gardens where there are community gardens where you can go and set up.
Oh, we don't
Yeah,
have that here.
yeah, you listen, in the United States, I don't care where you live. If it's urban, rural, you will find a place. Here in Georgia, one of my favorite places in the absolute world is a place called your DeKalb County's Farmers Market, okay? It is a place where you can get fresh fruits and vegetables, and they're always seasonal from any farm that's around this area or from any place that is close by where you can get your
Well,
food.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
but
There's always an area, like there's
yeah,
always farmers
but
out there.
listen, that's not the only thing. Here in Georgia or here in the metro Atlanta area, because that's one of the biggest cities here in Georgia, there are also community gardens where you can go and you can become a member and you can plant your own fruits and vegetables in that garden. And they
That's
have they have weekly trades where if you're growing one crop and another person's growing another crop, you guys can trade crops so that everybody gets some of everybody's everything, and you're actually growing for the community. So you are not without resources in certain places.
I love
So
that.
yeah, here in America, like for instance, if you even if you're low income, here in the United States, if you have what's called food stamps, if you get that, you can go buy seeds with your food stamps, and you can grow your own little container garden right there in your backyard or on your apartment balcony. So you are never without resources, and you are never without the ability to grow your own food and source your own food, as opposed to relying so heavily on what's provided to you in season or out of season.
I love that. I really do. Really do. It's so good. I want to plan a trip to Florida, and I think as I pass through Georgia, I'm gonna have to figure out where your farm is so I can stop in and say hi. Yeah,
Okay, when are you coming to
I don't
Florida?
know yet,
Okay, well,
but
keep me posted so we
yes,
can definitely,
yeah,
yeah. So here's the thing about Florida too. Now, when you get to Florida, you definitely have to visit some farms there, because Florida's got a different type of soil. So they're able to grow all different types of produce there. So I don't know if you're driving or if you're flying, but if you're driving, pack a cooler with you so that you can pick up some fresh produce down in Florida. And along your trip, like they have ice cream. I think it's called Ice Cream Plant. These are all types of fruits and vegetables that you don't even know about, that are tropical and indigenous to certain areas, that still are nutrient dense, and they provide you with so many different nutrients, but they also give you the flavors and taste of things that you're used to eating, so you don't miss out on those snacks while you're on the road. So just think about that. Like, and I'm not only saying this to you, I'm saying this
yeah.
to anybody who goes on a road trip, especially across the United States or in America, anywhere. Think about your local resources as you travel on the road. You can literally stop at farms, shop at farms, pick up fruit, vegetables, and all of that stuff. Some farms have self-serve markets right there on the spot. They make homemade breads, they make homemade cookies, they make all of the snack ingredients that you can think about right there. So at least you know where it's coming from. It's not coming from a huge manufacturing plant
Yeah.
somewhere. Like, I watch some of these places online, and I'm like, okay, well, we're going to plan a trip here. Let's look at what farm is in between our destination and where we're coming from. And let's see how we can map out trips to go to these farms and grab snacks, as opposed to stopping at fast food restaurants along the way.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Love it. I'm
Yeah, so
gonna look it up now. I never even thought of that, so now I'm gonna definitely look that up.
yeah, because you got to think about it. We're not only supporting the local farmer, but we're supporting our bodies,
Yeah,
and we're giving our bodies what we need.
yeah,
So if you're making a long drive, first of all, getting out, getting into the fresh air, walking through a farm, maybe if you're doing a pick and pay, you get to exercise as well. You have a little bit of fun, but when you're done, you get to eat the fruits of your labor,
yeah,
no pun intended.
yeah. No, I love that. I absolutely love that. I have loved this whole conversation. It has been so good, and I hope the viewers find it as intriguing as I did. And I, yeah, I'm so happy to have had you on here. I'm going to wrap up so we don't take everyone's time and I don't take all of your time. But this has been so informative and so good. I am excited to actually plan a trip now. And I just like my grandparents have a condo in Florida. So I'm like, I really want to go sit by the beach. And that was just a thought, but now I actually want to plan it. So I'm excited for all of this. This
So
is
just
good.
think about this. Wherever your grandparents' condo is in Florida, look at where the local farms are around that area. And when you plan your trip, just make a day to go visit, at least one farm. And then what you can do for content purposes is you can actually cook some of the items that you purchase from those farms each day while you're on your trip. And that's showing your viewers how they can utilize those things and how they can eat healthy while still being on vacation.
No, this is so good. So good. And it's sustainable, right?
Yep.
That's the best part. I have loved this conversation. Is there anything you want to leave the viewers with?
Just eat healthy. eat in season, be healthy, and take care of your body. And again, Trish, thank you for having me on your show today. I am so grateful for this opportunity.
Thank you for coming on. I am going to link your contact information in the caption part once the live is over. So if anyone wants to get a hold of you and learn more about what it is you offer, you can find all of the contact information right in the caption. And thank you so much for coming on. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. You have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye bye.